welcome to this Boeing FMC tutorial, specifically in the ZIBO 737. I'm Live Fly Guy if you don't know me, and I stream on Twitch, and I do Instagram, and I have a Discord, all that stuff in the below. I also do YouTube videos, so yeah. Anyway, so hey, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for clicking on the video. I'll get into the video ASAP, don't worry, but seriously, Twitch is my main thing, so if you want to check that out, there you go. Okay, so we're in the Boeing 737, as you can tell, and the first thing, actually, on a FMC, oh my god, the first thing with a FMC, the first thing is you gotta get a flight plan. So in order to put in a plan, flight plan, in order to fly from A to B, you need waypoints and a route. And how do you know that route? Well, this is how you know the route. Here you go. Watch this. Look at this. Simbrief. Simbrief.com. Go to it. Simbrief.com. Do that. Okay, so we're in LAX, so I'm just going to be, I think I'm in the Southwest livery, Southwest 12. I'm just saying we're going from LAX, Los Angeles, to San Francisco, SFO. So what you do is you put in your ICAO codes, you select your aircraft, we're of course in the 737-800, and then here's the route. So it literally gives you the route, it gives you all the info you need, save the flight, and click generate. So now that we have a route, this is what the information we need to get. And this is free, by the way. Simbrief is free. It's free. It's a free website. It's amazing. Just make an account. That's all you need to do. Just make an account and you're good. Amazing. So, here we go. So, we're going to look at this. Our cruising altitude is 340. Our airtime is 57 minutes. Here is the route itself. You can get information like weather and wind and stuff, and get you can see where jet streams are and stuff. It's very nice, and it gives us a route. So here's our route. So with this, summer 2 is the SID, standard instrument departure, Stoke transition, and then there actually is not any airways. So there's no airways. Direct is not a waypoint. It is just direct. So if you see this, don't put DCT into the FMC. It's just, yeah. So there's no airways. I'll probably set up a route with the airway with you afterwards, but so you can see. But anyway, so Summer 2 SID to the Stoke transition, and then the Surfer 4 transition for the Surfer 4 Star into SFO. And it's pretty much just the departure instantly onto the arrival with no like highways, I guess you could call airways, in the middle of the flight. If it doesn't make sense, then I'll show you. It will make sense in a second. Let's go into the aircraft. Now that we have our Simbrief, the first step to starting up the FMC is, of course, starting at the plane, but you gotta align IRS. So go all the way up top, set those to nav, and then you can see this. It'll show how I have a minute left in the IRS. So let's go back down. Oh, you also need updated AIRAC, so Navigraph. You gotta pay for that if you want updated FMC data, but if you don't, it's fine too. So we're at reference airport is KLAX, and you just click boom there to set the IRS. Now that all this will load, go to route, put in LAX. We're going to KSFO, San Francisco. So I'm just going to instantly put in our departure. So go to departure arrival, departure. Now let's look back at Simbrief, okay? So on Simbrief, if we scroll down, and then we scroll down again a little bit. Just scroll slightly down. You can see LAX is 25 right is our departure to the Summer 2 SID. So let's go back into the aircraft. 25 right with the Summer 2 SID. Perfect. And look at the transition. Let's look back at Simbrief. and it says the stoked transition. So now let's put in stoked. Next page, stoked. Root, activate, execute. And now look at this. It has our, sorry for the frames, by the way. My frames are terrible when I record. For some reason, recording is absolutely garbage. If you go to plan here, we can go legs, and you can just look through. So see that? Now it has our departure. See? Perfect. Let's go back into the FMC. So we just did our route. Or, sorry, our departure with the departure page. Okay. If we click on route, and then next page, if we had any airways, which we don't because it's just such a short flight, if we had any airways, we'd put that in, like it would say, for example, Alpha 525, and we'd go boom, and then we'd put in the waypoint that is after the airway. I'll show you this. We'll do another example with another flight, and I'll show you this. Don't worry. But yeah. Okay. So that's our route. But this flight is so short that we don't need any airways. So instantly after the departure, we go on to the arrival because our route is so short. So we'll go back to the departure arrival page, click arrival, make sure it's the bottom because we're not arriving at LA. We're arriving at San Francisco, so the bottom arrival one. And then let's look back at Simbrief. Simbrief says that we're landing 28 right. So think before you just I'm just using the runways Simbrief gives. Sometimes Simbrief's runway suggestions are wrong, so you can have a different runway. Sometimes air traffic control will change it, but mostly it's correct. But I'd say maybe 1 out of 5 times it's wrong. But just for practicality, I'm not going to figure out what the correct runway in use in San Francisco is right now. Let's just do the FMC tutorial. So, 28 right, Surfer 4, and the Surfer transition. Perfect. Let's put that in. 28 right, Surfer 4 with a Surfer transition. Surfer 4 is a star, so Surfer should be just part of it anyway, so we don't have to click a transition as Surfer specifically. Yeah, see, it's already part of it. So because the route is our SID, which is our departure, and then direct to a star, it's disconnected. See? It is disconnected. So what we're going to do is see this route discontinuity. Let's just look through our entire route again. Watch. I'm going to show you the discontinuity. See this? Discontinuity right here. Just go Surfer. Boom. Look at this. See the dotted line? That's going to show what we're connecting. Execute. Look at that. No disconnect. So now the route is perfect. So now we have a route all the way from Los Angeles to San Francisco with a departure, arrival, a departure runway, and arrival runway set up. And we're good. That's amazing. So that's pretty much it. That's the main part of the FMC tutorial. I'm just setting up a route. Afterwards, of course, you can do init-ref and put in performance. So if we go back to Simbrief again, we'll go into Simbrief, and I'll show you. On Simbrief, of course, there is LAX San Francisco cruise altitude 340. So let's go back into the FMC altitude. So I'll do this again. Init-ref, or wherever the heck you might be. You might be on route or something. But you go init-ref, and then it's going to be cruise altitude, and we saw it was 340, so 34,000 feet. Make sure we have enough fuel. An hour and a half, that should be fine. Just click that. We're good. For reserves, we'll go back into Simbrief. So we're on Simbrief. I'll just set this up to the top. So we're on Simbrief again. And we just scroll down, and you can see pause extra 4.4. So I just put 4.4 in there. Go back to Simbrief. Scroll up. Cost index is 5. CI is 5 right here. 5. Nice. Execute. Using reserve fuel. Okay, whatever. N1 limit. What I do is I do this all... So, first of all, I'm not a real-life pilot. This is just my knowledge. If there's anything wrong, rip. But, like, I stream and I get from A to B flying every single day, and I don't crash, and it works. And I fly in VATSIM, and everything is fine, and might not be perfect, but it works. And this is you could probably tell I know mostly what I'm talking about, but like this, for example, I don't know if you do whatever gets to 95. That's just what I've been told, and very specific stuff like that I don't know, but yeah. So I just kind of click it until I get 95. So 30. 41, 42, just as close to 95 as possible. That's fine. 94 point. So, yeah, that's what I do. After that, so let's just go back to what we've done here. So, in all that, the init ref. So, when you normally click init ref, it'll take you, because we already filled everything out, it'll go to the takeoff ref now, but normally, when you click init ref, it goes to this page. We already filled it out. N1 limit. Filled that out. Takeoff. So what we're going to do is flaps 5 for takeoff. Here's our V1, V rotate, and V2 speeds. And then this will just automatically calculate the trim to 4.5. So now let's go down to the trim. And here's 5. Here's 4. Just make it, visually put it in the middle. I think it's pretty much fine now already. So there we go. Verify V speeds. Everything is good. So yeah, that's a FMC, guys. There you go. Now you're set. Now you got a route. You got all the performance data. You got your V speeds for V1 and rotate. And yeah, that's about it. Of course, there's more to setting up an aircraft, like autopilot and, pressurization. And this is not a cold and dark tutorial, but I'm sorry for the frames too. Like I said, when I record, it's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. But that's about it. I'm going to do another example of another flight. We'll do LAX to JFK, so you can see a less shorter flight with some airways, and you can understand how you can apply this to not just LA to San Francisco. I'll show you, but just other stuff. So I'll just watch more, and you might understand more. So, yeah. Let's go into Simbrief for this. Okay. Here we go again. We're Southwest 12. We're departing KLAX, and I'm going to go to JFK for this flight, just for example. So, New York John F. Kennedy Airport is KJFK. There we go. It's loading. It's doing its thing. We're in a 737-800, and you can see that this route will be longer. It's a longer route, for sure. And that means that there's more stuff than just the SID, Orca 4, and the Star, Lendy 6. We have a lot of stuff in the middle. We have things in between, because it's a longer route, and most of the routes will have stuff in between, not just SID, Star, boom, done. No, it'll have stuff in between, all this stuff. So I'll show you how to put that into the FMC so you can understand. So let's save this flight. Generate. There we go. Okay, cool. So we have the route LA, JFK, Southwest 12. We're going to 330, but if you click here, you'll see 350. So that means we do a step climb. So halfway through the flight, or you can find the exact waypoint that you'll do a step climb at. So during the flight, here, that's 350, and that's 330. So I already found it. So in this specific flight, you're 330 until Bullock, over Nebraska, it looks like. And then once you enter Iowa at Totto, you climb to 350. So in a longer flight, you have two cruising altitudes, one for earlier, one for later. And in even longer flights, you might have 4 or 5 different step climbs throughout the entire flight. So anyway, there you go. That's a step climb. So here we got our route, got our airtime, got everything. So that's cool. We got our cost index, which is 69, and I didn't do that. It calculated it. So that's that was just random. Yeah, you don't see that much. Our route 25 right, Orca 4, Las Vegas, Bauer. Direct is not a waypoint. Direct just means you go from the Vegas straight to the Bauer, straight to the Larvie waypoints, and then Ecker onto the Juliet 100 airway, which is like a highway, and then you exit the highway at the Obic, and then you go on to the Juliet 584 highway to Carl. That's pretty much what airways are, just highways to the sky, and there's transition waypoints between other airways, and yeah, there you go. So I'll show you how to put that in to the FMC right now. Okay, we're back in the FMC. You probably load up like this. So FMC, there you go. Boom. Position in it. We're at LAX again. And remember IRS, you gotta do IRS or else all these navigation systems won't work. So let's set the IRS. It would be in the off position when you load up the plane. Set it to the nav. Say nav. And then nav again. There you go. And now it's aligning. So perfect. Since we set that up, all these dots now show up, and we can just go boom, route, LAX, and we're going to JFK for this flight. KJFK. Perfect. Let's go departure. Simbrief. When we look at Simbrief, we scroll down. Well, it would be up here. But you go do this, and you scroll down a bit till you find the route. 25 right to the Orca 4. Let's set that up. Departure. 25 right to the Orca 4. There you go. And then if we look at Simbrief again, it has the LAS transition. So let's just set that up into the sim. LAS transition. There you go. Boom. Routes. Activate. Execute. Nice. So the other route, this would be it. Boom. Done. We're done with the route, and well, we're done with the departure, and now we're just instantly going on to the arrival because Los Angeles to San Francisco is such a short flight. We didn't have any middle waypoints between the departure and the arrival. Not LA to JFK, and most routes for the matter aren't just like that. So now, if we go to the route page and you go next page, and then we look at Simbrief, after Las Vegas, it says direct to Bauer. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put in Bauer. So we're gonna do that. So Bauer is BAWER. So I'm gonna put that in BAWER. And when you go direct, you just go to. So see that? Boom. direct Bauer. And you'll see there's Las Vegas. If I execute that, Bauer shows up. Cool. After Bauer, on a route, it says direct Larve. So let's just put Larve in. Larve. 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 Boom. Look at that. Larve shows up now. Perfect. Let's look again on a route. You could also look, it's down here with the runways, by the way, but you could also scroll up. It's up here. It's right here too. So if you're having trouble finding this section right here in the routing and all this paperwork and stuff, this one little spot right here, I'm having trouble finding it now. There we go. You can just, it's here. It's easy. So, I'll just do this. After Larve, Ecker. EKR. Let's put that in. EKR. Execute. Boom. So now it's off. It's too far. Can't see it. It's too far in the distance to show here, but it is showing up. If you go to plan mode, and you go legs, you can always step through and see that Ecker is there, even though you can't see it here. It's just too far away. Now here's a different thing. Here's the big difference between direct to a waypoint like we have. Now we have an airway. Sorry about my camera quality. For the rest of the tutorial, sadly, my camera was kind of blurry and I didn't realize it, and it just lasts for pretty much the rest of the time. I think the very end it gets better, but I'm sorry. So you'll just have to deal with looking at a complete slug-looking pixelated me for the rest of the tutorial. But anyway, doesn't ruin the FMC, I guess. So, sorry, enjoy, I don't know. So, if you look, it goes Ecker to the Juliet 100 airway to the OBH, and then it gives some coordinates. You don't have to put that in. If you look down here, it doesn't give a coordinates to OBK here anyway. Don't worry about the coordinates. It'll be fine. So, we already have Ecker. Let's put in the Juliet 100 to OBH, and I'll show you how to do that. Route, of course. Next page. Juliet 100 on the left side. Remember when we did the direct and it was on the right? Well, airway is the left side, see? So it's like taking Ecker to the highway of Juliet 100. These, it's pretty much stating no highway, just direct to there. And the next waypoint, remember I said OBH? So we're going to do OBH. Boom. Execute. Perfect. So you can see plan. You can see that it took the Ecker. And then this is the highway, which consists of frogs, SNY, LJ to OBH. So the airways are really nice. It makes it so you don't have to direct and punch in all of these waypoints. You can just put Juliet 100 and then boom, it has all these waypoints that you would have to put direct in, and it just saves time. So Juliet 100 OBH. Next page, let's look at Simbrief again. And oh, here we go. So we're still on the Juliet 100 to OBK. So let's put that in. Juliet 100 to OBK. Boom. Execute. See? See how the route now goes very far with all these extra waypoints? Very good. We'll go route again. Next page. Next page. Wait, what? Wait a sec. Route again. Next page. Next page. I don't know what happened before. Maybe I clicked back by accident. Now let's look at a route again. From OBK, we're on the Juliet 584 airway. So we're on a different airway now. To Juliet 5A4. 8-4. So, here we go. Juliet 584. Boom. And we're taking that to Carl. So if we see this, Juliet 584 to Carl. CRL. So let's set that up. CRL. Boom. Look at that. And execute. Now it'll add all the waypoints up to Carl. Let's look again at Simbrief. Here we go. After Carl, it's the Juliet 554 to JHW. So, Juliet 554 to JHW. I think you get the point. So, you just continue doing this until you get all the way. We'd have to put the Juliet 70 and actually, you know what? I was gonna just end it and be like, you get it, but you know what? There's just one more, and then this star. So let's just do that again too. We'll just put in the Juliet 70 to LVZ. So Juliet 70 to LVZ. I was gonna stop myself and be like, okay, you get it. I'm done, but I've almost done it all. So like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not finish it off? So at LVZ, we're done with the middle of our. We're done with this middle part of our route, and now we're back onto the arrival again. So LVZ to the Len D6. So let's do that. So departure, arrival, Len D6, and we got to figure out our runway. So remember back when we did the other thing, the other flight, where we went down and we looked and we saw the arrival in San Francisco? Well, we're going to do that again for JFK. 3-1 left. Len D6. So let's do that. Let's go 3-1 left. There we go. Boom. So if you go legs, and we can see our entire route now, we go through all the way to the end. LVZ. There we go. And then now this is the arrival all the way into runway 31 left. And if we look closer, you can see the arrival. And then here's the runway. And this is a go-around procedure. And if you go back to map, you can see the departure runway. And then, yeah. So there you go. Of course, the performance is the exact same as the other flight, so you don't need, there's nothing new. Just, you know, boom, 330, go on Simbrief, look for the reserve, cost index, N1 for the takeoff, 95 there, remember that? Yeah. Flaps 5, trim, set all this up, so, like, there you go, we already did that, you know, it's exact same. And there you go. That's how you set up a Boeing FMC. I gave you 2 examples. I hope I did a good job explaining. I don't know how I don't know how good of a teacher I am. I'm sorry. I try, but if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Discord. I do have a server. I do have a server where there's a lot of people that will help you, and me included. You can DM me on Instagram, Discord, and I will happily answer anything and even try and work out a time to help you out learning this if you need, if I did a bad job in this video. But top of that, live, I am live on Twitch, so you can chat to me there. If you want to check out Twitch, it's in the description. And yeah, so I thanks for watching. Subscribe, and it's my self-promotion section, because I'm done with the video. But thanks for watching. If you're here now, you watched the entire thing, which big props to you. So, let's see ya.